Jessica, and today I have a very different video for you guys. This is a video about what inspires me, and it was prompted because this girl named Wing contacted me, and she has a YouTube channel on here, and she was just talking about maybe doing a collab. And so then I was checking out her channel, and I found this video that she called Makeup for the Heart, and it was really a cool video, and I'll link it below, because she was sitting on the beach and it just seemed like kind of an impromptu video, and she was just talking about how, you know, people are so not okay with the way they look, and they always want to change something, they always want to be perfect, and you know, she said there needs to be something about, you know, making your heart and your soul beautiful and not just your outer beauty. And this is something, you know, you hear talked about and people talk about all the time, you know, there's inner beauty and it's way more beautiful than what's on the outside, but, you know, society and the media seems to lean the other way. No matter what people say, it's all around you in magazines, on TV. The only people you see are beautiful, and if someone is not as conventionally beautiful as another, it's touted like, wow, good for them that they're putting actors that aren't totally beautiful in these shows and in these lead roles. I'm like, that should not be a thing. That shouldn't be a thing that people say, oh wow, they're really progressive because they're putting ugly people in their shows, in the leads. And I'm just like, how is this even something we can talk about? Everyone is beautiful. But basically, this video, she is doing a series called Makeup for the Heart, and she kind of came up with this phrase, and I just love it, and I think it's such a cool thing to kind of live by and to think about. So in this video, I'm going to go through just a few things that pop into my mind when I think about what inspires me. What inspires me, not just in general, but to be a better person especially. And this was almost hard to do, and I had to become more general because I thought, I feel like there are so many things in my life that inspire me to become better, and my gratitude journal has helped me. So that's kind of my number one. My gratitude journal is basically a journal I keep where I write down every night something that I'm thankful for. Now, when I first started it in January, it was kind of more general, like I'm thankful for my mom, you know, because blah, blah, blah. But now that I've gotten into, you know, the 6th and 7th month, it's getting more specific, like maybe something that happened today that I'm very grateful that happened, or something someone said that inspired me. And so it's really cool the way it's taken shape. And that's something, you know, you can do your journal on your computer. You can do it. I just bought a cheap notebook from Target for like $1. You can go to the dollar store, and just I keep it by my bedside, and so it just constantly reminds me, just take, you know, 30 seconds to write one sentence down. I'm really bad about keeping a journal, so that's kind of my way of keeping a journal of just gratitude, of what I'm grateful for. So that's one thing that really inspires me, and if that's not something you do, I would definitely recommend it because it's been very helpful. I have my list here. Another thing is a good book, and I brought some out that I wanted to share with you guys. One is Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert, and this was a big deal, you know, quite a while ago. It was a bestseller, and then the movie came out. But this is a book that I give out all the time. They were at Half Price Books recently, and they were like on clearance for $1, and I bought a stack, and I've given them out to so many friends that are just kind of at certain crossroads in their life, or maybe something's happening and they just need something to inspire them, for them to move forward. And this is always what I give them, and I just love it. I could read it again and again. Now, there's certain parts of it that I don't love, and, you know, if you're under the age of 18, you know, there are some, I don't know what the age would be appropriate, but there are some risque parts, but for the most part, it's just this wonderful spiritual journey. And I am a Christian, and she goes through all these different, you know, she kind of experiences some different religions and different gods, but what I love is the message in it, which is about, it doesn't matter what religion you are, what you believe, but there's something greater out there, and it's called love. And when you find that, nothing can really top it. It's really hard to explain because she goes through some really tough stuff in her life. So I really recommend it. I promise you'll read it in like 2 days. Another one that I'm about to start is called The Happiness Project, and you guys know I've been on a decluttering kick, and what drew me to this was, she says, The Happiness Project, or why I spent a year trying to sing in the morning, clean my closets, fight right, read Aristotle, and generally have more fun. And it's by Gretchen Rubin. And I haven't started it yet, but I actually just finished a book today, this morning actually. So I'm really excited to give this one a go. And I think books can be so inspiring, and not only like, I don't even want to call these self-help books because they're really not, but regardless, whether it's a self-help book or just a wonderful novel or a nonfiction book, there's so much to gain from them. And my dad and I recently were having a discussion, and he was saying how he doesn't really like to read fictional books like novels. And I was like, oh my gosh, Dad, like there's so much to gain from it. He said, I just feel like I'm wasting my time because I'm just reading a story but I'm not learning anything. And I was like, hold on, you learn a lot from fiction, whether you're an adult or a kid or whatever. And my main thing, and my sister and I talked about this too, was just that when you read, you learn about characters and see life from a different perspective. And every book you read, you're learning about a new perspective. And I think it just makes you so much more open-minded and so much more accepting and so much more capable of understanding others. And I think for people that don't read a lot or maybe just don't enjoy reading, they're missing something. I think that they're just missing that, and maybe they're just naturally more understandable, but I really do think it's made me a more understanding person and also a more curious person to learn about all these different things in the world, these people in the world, these cultures. Okay. This is a quote that has inspired me for a long time because I used to really suffer. I don't really know of a better word for it, but I used to really suffer from jealousy. And I would be very jealous, and past boyfriends I've had, I was that jealous girlfriend where, you know, I would be constantly worried about who he's working with and, you know, what he's doing during the day and who he's talking to online and who he's texting and who, but in the past, and maybe it's because I'm in a wonderful relationship now where it's just not a worry of mine, but a lot of books I've read have helped, namely Eat, Pray, Love, but also this quote. And the quote is, I don't know it, so I kind of reworded it because I can't remember where I read it, but it was basically something like, you're not any prettier when you knock someone else down. Or when you're jealous of someone and you say something mean about them, it doesn't make you look any better. It doesn't make you more beautiful. It doesn't make you more desirable to someone. So basically, I took from that, I don't need to sit there and be jealous and think, ugh, I used to do that, and I would find ways to make myself feel better, but it didn't make me any more beautiful inside or out. And that was just one of those realizations. The more I've thought about it year after year, the more I've realized we women have to empower each other. And there's so much power, and that was something I really struggled with. I would see women not as friends, but as like enemies, or like, you know, it was very hard for me, especially as I was becoming an adult. Like I would say the ages of high school all the way through age probably like 21 or 22. I made so many mistakes when it comes to friends and when it comes to just so many things. And now I'm like, I feel like I see the light. And that's basically it. We have to empower each other and love each other because we're brothers and sisters. Whether you're religious or not, we are. And, you know, just as a human race. And I think that that has really inspired me throughout so many moments of my life. So I'm really thankful for having read that quote. Another thing that inspires me is just nature. And I know that sounds silly, but this is one I had to pare down because I had so many moments in my life. But just, I have to force myself to put my phone down, leave it behind, leave my iPad, whatever, and just sit outside in silence. And that was another thing she talks about in Eat, Pray, Love. Is just in Italy, they're wonderful at enjoying the pleasure of doing nothing. And I think that in America and probably other countries, but of course I'm American, so I've got this sheltered view of the world. I feel like we are not good at that. And we're constantly wanting to do something, and I know I do that all the time. I can't just have I can't even just sit and watch TV. I have to be doing something else, something productive. And I have to force myself to just take a second and just breathe in what's going on around you, all the wonderful, you know, it's a beautiful day out today, and it's a really cool day, and I've learned to kind of appreciate the little nuances in weather. Like I sat outside this morning with my coffee and I thought, wow, there's like this really cool breeze, but it's really sunny. And even though it's July, it kind of feels like fall is coming in. And all those little nuances in nature have just inspired me to just take it all in and to slow down. And if you have to force yourself, then force yourself. Because over time it'll become easier and you'll say, okay, I'm gonna go spend some time just sitting outside for a bit, you know. Whether you're reading a book or just sitting there, there's so much to take in. Another thing that inspires me is travel. Now, my boyfriend and I love to travel. We're going to Mackinac Island soon, and so I went to the library and got all kinds of books on it, and that's something we enjoy doing, planning for the trip, and mostly we're just nerds and we like to learn about the history of it. But traveling just opens again, it just opens your mind. You're seeing things in a new way. Whether I'm, you know, Michigan for me is only like 7 hours away, the area we're going to. But, you know, we eventually are wanting to travel a lot all over the place. And we know that's to come. We're both just trying to financially get stable before we start doing things like that. But we know that's to come in our lives, and we know that's going to be a big part of our life. And even just finding ways to kind of turn your own city that you live in into like a vacation place. So every once in a while we'll have a staycation where we'll stay at a hotel, we'll try and find a good rate, we'll stay at a hotel nearby, maybe downtown, and find new things to do that we wouldn't do otherwise on a normal Saturday. Because there's so much to do, and when you go and visit a city, you look those things up and you find all those things to do. But when you live in the city, you don't really do that. You know what's in your bubble and you know what you're used to, but you don't really branch out and do those other kind of touristy things very often. So we've learned to do that, so we save money and we get to kind of travel without really traveling, and we end up discovering so many hidden gems in our city. So it's just been a really wonderful way to get us to go and explore in our lives and just make it more interesting, and so we're constantly learning and growing together. Another thing that inspires me is this idea that Dr. Seuss, well, I don't know if it was his idea, but it was in the book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. And my mom just recently got it for me for graduation. I love it. And there's a part in it where he's talking to the kid, the author is, just talking about this scary place called the waiting place. And it's where all these people are around and they're just waiting. They're waiting for a bus to come. They're waiting for vacation. They're waiting for the next holiday. They're waiting. I mean, we're just waiting. And it's so, I have the goosebumps just talking about it. It's so unbelievably true about us as a society. We wait. And, you know, we're not ever enjoying the moment that we're in. We're constantly waiting for the next good thing that's happening. So even if I'm, you know, looking forward to tonight, I know that we're going out. So I'm looking forward to that. So all this time in between, I'm just waiting. I might be doing and fiddling around and doing things, but we live so much of our life just waiting. And I think if we can turn that on its head and start realizing that every single moment, this moment right now, every single moment is just as important as that moment when you're on vacation or when you're traveling or whatever it is you're looking forward to. And that's something that's really hard for me to train my brain to realize, hey, when you're just sitting there checking your Twitter, you could be doing something else. I mean, this is your life. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm still going to always check my Twitter and, you know, but you don't have to, you know, so much time I feel like I'm wasting, and I could be doing something else. I could be picking up a book. I could be walking around the neighborhood, walking my dog. I mean, there's just so many things. So I'm trying to be better about this waiting game that we all play. And the last thing I'll talk about is kids. Kids inspire me. Now, I'm a teacher, and I'm a beginning teacher, but I'm surrounded by kids all the time. All my life, I've had like 15 nieces and nephews, or 12, I think. And so ever since I was like 5, I've had babies around me and kids. And I just recently kind of had the realization while I was watching some of my nephews play, and I told some of my family about this, just that kids live moment to moment. They're not ever really truly planning for, well, what am I going to be doing this weekend? Or where will I be in 5 years? Or how is this job that I'm doing going to help me move forward? Or do I need to get a different job? Or should I go back to school? Or, you know, all these things that cloud our mind, that really kind of have to cloud our mind, because you have to plan. You've got to, you know, but the spontaneity of a children's day is unbelievable. I was sitting there and my nephew was just sitting next to me, and I was reading, and he just had a toy, and he just kind of came in and sat next to me, and then he had his toy and he's going, ah, and he's just playing. And then he got up and went and played in the corner of my room, and I thought, they're just living moment to moment. I mean, he just came in and didn't know, had no plans, just sat there and just started playing with his toy, and then moved over there and played over there. I mean, it's just so spontaneous, and they just follow where the river's taking them. And I thought, we need to take something from that from kids. Now, while we can't be that spontaneous, at least I couldn't be, we can certainly take something from it and try to be a little bit more like that. Just see where the moments take you. And I'm realizing now, after going through all my inspiring things, and that a lot of it leads me towards reading more, traveling more, and appreciating more. And finding ways to make sure those 3 things are in my life is really important to me. And I realize all of those things, the more I do it, the more better I am. And all of those things inspire me to become better. So I hope that this was a helpful video for you. I know it probably seemed like I was rambling, at least it did to me. but I would love to know what inspires you. What is your makeup for your heart? Because basically all of those things are makeup for my heart. They make my heart happy, they make my heart healthy, they make my soul just feel like it's glowing. All of those things do. So I can't wait to find out what your little inspirations are. Please tell me down below. If you would love to make this video as well, please do it. I tag you all and send me the link because these are just wonderful to watch. I hope you will do that, and I will catch you guys very soon. Bye.